Judgment Day is here, ladies and gentlemen. Before we head on over into my six-figure stock portfolio and I reveal to you how much I am down, as I mentioned yesterday, I am down in the five-figure level. I've never seen my portfolio drop this much, as probably there are a lot of margin calls going on. Some of those bears that have their short options out there are probably celebrating today. But let's go over the Stock Twits watch list of my personal stocks I pay attention to. And then, like I said, I'm going to reveal to you the infinitely large number that's just probably terrifying most people in their portfolios. But taking a look here, we got Apple, Microsoft, Facebook, Tesla, my top tier companies, including J&J, just getting beat into the ground. Like J&J is down now below my buy price, which was in the 130 range, which is absolutely absurd. My sin stocks, BTI, MO hitting new all-time lows, which I could never have foreseen coming. We got my utilities doing relatively okay, but today, not so much. We're talking Northland Power, Southern Company. We got GEO Group, my favorite prison REIT, my Canadian REIT. They're actually not doing too bad overall. We got Wells Fargo getting slaughtered. My Canadian banks getting slaughtered. The MJ sector, guys, absolutely just taking a kicking today. We got Starbucks here getting hit again. 3M is the only green stock I can see right now, but just look at this, guys. We got Wynn Resorts, SPCE, your good old Virgin Galactic, AbbVie, International Continental Exchange. This is one you should look at. These exchange companies, guys, they just print money, and even still, they are not down that much. Usually in volatile times, they actually do better. So if I can give you a little bit of tidbit advice, if Continental Exchange drops anymore, I might consider buying it, because it's one of the most stable companies out there, because whether the markets do good or bad, they own the New York Stock Exchange. Most of the stocks you see here are traded on this company. So, I mean, they make money every trade that happens. So they're not complaining at all. But continuing down, look at, again, MJ sector here. We got ACB, APHA, WEED. I don't want to get flagged on my YouTube for saying anything I shouldn't here, but oh my goodness, guys. Just everything right now is going on what I call a sale. But let's just keep going. We got Disney getting slaughtered here, McDonald's getting slaughtered, Google, Amazon, and my other top companies that I just pay attention to that aren't at the top of this watch list. Shopify, we got MGM Resorts. Heck, even Bitcoin can't keep up today, guys. But just take a look at this list, and it's ironic to think that GoPro, of all these stocks, is one of the only ones up today. But yeah, guys, this is the kind of market that I have been desperately awaiting for, and I'm really hoping this sustains over time as I'm starting to get other people into the investment world. I think this is the time to open up those accounts. If you've been interested in getting into stocks, don't miss these opportunities. They are far and few in between. And my goodness, guys, now I'm going to reveal to you how much I'm down in my stock portfolio. So let's get right into this.
Drop it.
Welcome back, my passive income investors alike, to how much am I down on my six-figure stock portfolio. And today I'm going to tell you, when I just did the math, I am down between $18,000 and $19,000. Like, that is a stupid amount of money. Luckily, my dividends, however, are up, and I'm glad that I'm collecting a decent amount of dividends, still about $460, $470 a month, which I'm going to be contributing into all of these stocks as soon as I can. I just wish we weren't in tax season, because I got capital laying around. I'm just hesitant on wanting to spend it, because obviously the government wants their hand in my pocket too, and I work for myself. So to get a little bit over exaggerated here and getting a little bit frothy in my own personal spending, I don't want to get out of control. But taking a look at my tax-free savings account, it is now down below $100,000, which is crazy, because if you guys go back a video ago, this thing was sitting at like 110 or something, and now we're not getting all our capital gains wiped out. As I said before, guys, I've doubled the money in all these accounts, so I mean, I'm not really worried about how far they drop, because they got a long ways to go before I'm losing any of my actual capital gains that mostly I've already diversified. But taking a look here, guys, the really attractive stocks are these bank stocks, because now that the Canadian banks are getting hit as hard as they are, the yields are getting close to almost 6%. Like with Canadian Imperial Bank, the yield's over 5.5. BNS is over 5%. Northland Power, again, the utilities, not really on value here, but they've been performing pretty well through all of this. The REITs are starting to get hit, which is a sector that I'm desperately paying attention to. I really want to get some high yields. off them REITs, but they haven't been dropping nearly as much as I want them to. MO is finally becoming attractive again here, guys. I never thought MO would drop below the $40 range, and now that it has, it's over a 7% yield. And my goodness, guys, one of my favorite stocks of all time. I thought I was done buying it, but I might inch in some capital if it stays down here over the next couple months. Again, my top tier companies still in the green overall, but now that they're in the 150 level, this is your opportunity to get into them. Like these top tier companies do not show glimpses like this very often. So take advantage if you've ever wanted to get into Apple, Microsoft, any of these really awesome companies, guys. This is the time you sit down, pay attention, even if you can just buy a couple shares. I mean, take advantage of this. I mean, the news is getting a little over exaggerated here. We don't know the full extent of this virus yet. And for what a small percentage right now it's affecting the world, like I said, I feel like the stock market's a child. And when you yell at the child and you say he's been doing wrong things, he's going to cry, and it's going to be like tenfold more serious to him than it is going to be to you. And the market kind of acts this way, right? But taking a look here, we got BTI, GEO Group. GEO Group's actually not down too much from where it was, but it's still getting hit with the rest of the market. Let's move into one of my other accounts. This is just my favorite account of all time. I'm hoping it doesn't go much lower because I really like it being in this six-figure range. It's my favorite account, of course. But taking a look at my managed account, because I hold MO in here, getting slaughtered, down almost 20%. Taking a look at my RSP, where, of course, Tesla, my Esla, as financial education likes to say, Jeremy there. Taking a look, Tesla, I'm still up pretty healthy on the position overall. I'm glad I liquidated the position and leveraged it into Facebook here. Obviously, I'm down only 10% on Facebook, but it would have looked a lot worse if I was still holding on to Tesla, which is why I try and diversify to some extent and to some degree, which I think is intelligent. This is why you don't want to over leverage into one stock. And if you have one stock that does like exceptionally well, you got to take a little bit of profits, guys, for situations like this, because I couldn't imagine holding my $20,000 in Tesla that it would have been and watching it drop from, the 900 all the way down to where it sits today in the 600s. That would have been a big loss, a lot more than I'm seeing on Facebook anyways. But honestly, of all the stocks that I'm most attracted to right now, because obviously I already hold Apple, Microsoft, and a lot of those top tier companies, Facebook is like at the top of my list right now. I might even try and buy some shares of it in my tax-free savings account, because that way I can hold it as my only growth stock in that account. And hopefully over time, especially when first quarterly earnings come in, I know I kind of repeat myself again and again on this topic, guys, but Facebook is poised, I think, to do the best coming these first quarterly earnings, and it's just something to pay attention to. So I'm going to keep buying Facebook here. I have a bit of money laying around in my RSP, and I might actually just take that right now and invest it into Facebook, even if I can only buy one share. I just love these discounts and opportunities out there, but I think we could see further discounts if the news just keeps getting worse and worse, because there's just always a new case of this. I don't want to say any words. We'll just call it CV so I don't get flagged like the MJ sector. Quebec just got its first case of CV, which is crazy to think. Matt Money, one of my fellow YouTubers the other day, mentioned that this is really only affecting like 0.00001% of like the entire economy, yet somehow the stock market is getting this massive reflection to the downside. I mean, this isn't like tariff wars. I mean, there are stocks that are going to get dinged by this, but at the same time, guys, it's just value. I mean, can we go any lower? And if we can, yes, please, let's keep dropping. I mean, a lot of people aren't going to be happy with this, but this is where us dividend investors thrive. So, I mean, I'm not worried about how far these accounts are down, but taking a look at my final account, my RBC account, I have a meeting with these guys today, and I'm going to try and set up some other accounts. I'll explain more about that later, but taking a look in here where I obviously hold more BTI, more MO, and just looking at these price drops, down 23% on MO in this account. Wells Fargo taking a massive ding. Now, Wells Fargo isn't like your company, but it's going to be slowing down with the news of, them trying to fix the problems with all the scams that were going on. But it's not going to be something like a Bank of America, but it is so utterly cheap in my opinion, and for the yield that it offers and the fact that it's been able to increase its dividend over the last decade through all of the issues it has, I mean, it's just one of those companies that I wouldn't mind owning some more of. And I only hold a little bit in the beginning here. I've only got $580 in this stock, so to buy some more at these levels, I am so down. I just wish I had a bit more money, but I'm going to drip it in here as much as humanly possible. So where do things go from here, guys? as dividend investors, it's always important to remain solvent. You guys should go check out the video that I posted yesterday and just kind of be calm. It's just a wave through the storm. And honestly, these drops don't happen often, guys. So don't get scared. Take advantage. Don't get over leveraged, obviously, because we don't know how much farther this can go down. We don't know how much worse the news gets. We don't even know if this is going to become a pandemic or not. So it's things you got to pay attention to. It's things that you have to kind of keep in the back of your mind while you're investing, but to be buying these top tier companies, we're talking about comparing like J&J or Apple to like a Lambo or like a Bentley, and now you're buying it at like a 20% discount or 10% discount depending on the stock. I would definitely be taking advantage of that. And again, if you guys are into ETFs, I mean, it's a good time to start averaging into a couple ETFs, but at this point in time, the ETF market isn't on like super major discounts where some of these individual stocks are. So if you're more of an ETF investor, I'm not trying to advise you away from diversifying, but you should be kind of core focusing on these major discounts because the upside is going to be huge. Come back to me in 6 to 12 months on a stock like Facebook. I don't think it's going to be sitting at the price where it is. I think we're going to be up. Just my personal opinion on that one. But I'd love to know what you guys think about all of this in that comment section below. What a fascinating day. I got a lot to get done. I wanted to make this video early, so stay cool, stay awesome, and I look forward to chatting to you real soon.